I love the sun. Sure, I've heard about cancer, but what the hey? I'd rather die 5 years early and at least have a little color on my face. I suppose I could be doing better things with my time, like helping those more fortunate than myself. And it's true that... What are you doing? Come on, I don't have any money! No, come on, get out of here!
Hey, you looking good, man. Y'all done.
Get out of here, pal.
Come on, man.
I can't get to my pocket.
Come on, look how clean.
Come on, I'm starting the show here. We're rolling.
Hey, you ain't got no 50 cents. Come on, look how clean.
Another thing about a tan. It's true, isn't it, that here you are sitting in a chair with a sweat... Get out of here.
Hey, man, come on.
Forget it, Josh. I can't do it. Start the show.
Come on, man. 50 cents. Damn technology.
Look around you. The universe has too much structure to be a result of random chance. Therefore, it must have been designed. This is an argument my old pastor used when he tried to reconvert me back to the faith, as it were. I personally found it a pretty poor argument, really. Is there structure in the universe? Well, yeah, no doubt, but the structure doesn't mean it was designed. And if there is a design structure, it's a pretty poor one when you consider that half of what's out there in the universe either rips itself apart or has the potential to rip something else apart. The structure argument tends to lie in a mathematical argument that God has set everything in motion in the universe to happen at predetermined times. For example, if a meteor were to strike the Earth at any time in the future, God has set such an activity in motion from the very beginning. Cause and effect, you see. I think there's an episode of The Twilight Zone that covers this very issue, wherein space archaeologists discover a burned out planet destroyed in a supernova. It turns out, much to the distress and malign of the priest accompanying them, that their world was destroyed at precisely the right time for the light to show above a certain manger in Bethlehem. An interesting moral is given at the end about lighting the way for other worlds, but I feel it's lost in translation when you consider the 2,000-year consequence of that particular interstellar event. The bloody rise of Constantine, the Crusades, the Inquisition, slavery, all that kind of thing. It never ceases to amaze me that theists that make this argument, and who argue so much about free will, fail to see the Calvinistic flaw in their argument. If free will is a part of the universe God created, they have to concede that in such a universe no plan is perfect. The random element, in this case free will, is bound to fuck it up somehow. If God's plan is so perfect, then he is either a mastermind of jigsaw potential where he can predict the human mind so perfectly, which is an argument I will cover at a later date, and the universe is just a huge torture device designed to teach us the error of our ways. Or destiny is predetermined, our choices are already known, or more to the point decided for us according to the so-called elect, and we are nothing more than the outcome of a sick game of theistic dominoes. In this case, the Calvinistic argument wins out. Either way, for God, the structure argument doesn't look very good for him as an example of a loving God. No, the truth of the matter is that the universe is not the result of random chance, but of probability. The structure of what we see, as well as the chaos we see, whilst not in perfect harmony, is the cause and effect of a finite number of particles and atoms coming together in infinite ways. In short, I make a cake. I put all the right ingredients that is required to make the perfect cake. Not one ingredient makes the cake, it is the combination of ingredients. If I wanted to make a chocolate cake, a lack of chocolate wouldn't a chocolate cake make. It's only because our planet has the luxury of having the cocoa bean that allows me the luxury of making a chocolate cake. The probability of there even being a cocoa bean on this planet alone is extreme, even more so on several planets. The fact that the cocoa bean is here at all is based on the probability that the right ingredients and environmental factors coming together in order to produce the cocoa bean were here at all. That I can make a chocolate cake at all is in fact the result of the lottery that is in fact the laws of the universe. When a theist argues the structure argument, tell him to throw 6 dice and come up with 6 sixes 6 times in a row. Then let him come back to you with the structured argument. What the theist fails to understand is that when it comes to physics, chemistry and even mathematics, chance is not an improbable event, and there is no such thing as pure chaos. Structure in the universe is dependent on the chaos that drives it. Like the throwing of the dice, the hand represents the chaos, the result represents the structure. Chaos does not decide the structure that follows, it is merely the driving force that pushes the elements together. Order is not the foundation of the resulting structure. Chaos is. One can only form structure from structure created by chaotic forces. Now, it is possible to control chaos. For example, one can create a fire and control it to a certain degree. But there are a whole set of variables to take into consideration before it can become an uncontrollable inferno. A gust of wind, a piece of paper, or a gas line. Sadly, in a universe of infinite probability, as I said before, something is bound to fuck up even the best laid plans. The prediction of any event, therefore, is limited by the conditions you pay attention to. So therefore, I find myself agreeing with the conclusions of Stephen Hawking. 1. I believe in quantum nature. 2. By saying God plays dice, even God, or some supernatural power, can't predict the future accurately. 3. I believe that it is only possible to predict the approximate future if you know every state of every particle at present. 4. To know the present and the future status of a particle, we need to know its position, direction, and velocity. 5. There were so many scientists who proved that it is impossible to calculate position and velocity accurately at the same time. They also said that if you try to measure position, you need to supply light, which adds uncertainty in velocity and vice versa. 6. The universe is composed of black holes, which doesn't even allow light to pass through them. So some particles may fall in them and hence the information is lost. 7. It is possible to predict floods, hurricanes, etc. well in advance provided no information is lost, which is next to impossible. 8. So even God, who may have supernatural powers, can't predict the exact future, and he himself has to play dice, because it is too difficult to collect all the information of each and every particle and preserve it until the event happens. So really, don't you find it's rather sad when you consider a theist's argument about the universe could be likened unto this?
The universe. Some information to help you live in it. 1. Area. Infinite. 2. Population. None. It is known that there are an infinite number of worlds, but that not every one of them is inhabited. Therefore, there must be a finite number of inhabited worlds. Any finite number divided by infinity is as near to nothing as makes no odds. So if every planet in the universe has a population of 0, then the entire population of the universe must also be 0. And any people you may meet from time to time are merely the products of a deranged imagination.
Until next time, ciao.